We have 7 steps prepared for you that we're going to teach you today that can be used, especially when you're doing in-house events where you have parents bringing their kids to do a training or a seminar or anything inside of your school or studio. All right, so everybody, I want you to write down step number 1. Write down the term name tags. Name tags are so simple, yet they are never used. I don't know why. We use them at our events. By the way, anytime that you come to our events, I want you to be a participant, but I want you to also be an observer. Look at how we do things. Look at what we do. Every single person has a lanyard with a what? Say it with me, my friends. Look at the person next to you. Look at them and say, name tag.
Name tag. Name tag. It's a name tag, Chris, right? And okay, so also, you know, with these name tags, these are, when we're talking about name tags, they don't have to be a lanyard with like a badge. It literally can be just like a sticker, like a hello, my name is type name tag that they just stick on them and they wear them. And obviously, if you're doing any type of physical type of seminar or workshop, that's what's going to be best rather than having this like swinging lanyard everywhere, right? Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
The kids will turn those lanyards into like
their
nunchucks.
Weapons.
You're going to have ninja fights happening.
Yes.
Okay, so step 1 is name tags. So literally, you're going to have a stack of name tags at your welcome desk. And when people are coming in, you are giving them name tags, and you're literally having them place it on their child's chest right in front so that you can see that child's name. All right, now step number 2 is the welcome. Everybody write down the word welcome. So in the example, if we were hosting a community training or a seminar where parents and kids are there, this also works for parents' night outs. This also really does well with birthday parties, right? Because the parents are encouraged to stay at your campus, at your school or studio, to watch the kids at the birthday party. And by the way, there's a lot of people that are brand new. And you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, all the parents drop their kids off and then come back. That's the worst thing you could ever do because you're missing the opportunity of having a captive audience. If you want to write down that term, a captive audience is the most powerful thing that you can have because the parents are going to be there for a couple hours and they're listening to everything that your instructors are saying. They're watching the magic happen. And then a captive audience converts well. That's the best converting audience that you could ever have. Okay, so when we give a welcome, we're not just welcoming the children, we're welcoming their parents. So let me ask you guys this. Would it be beneficial to give the parents a name tag? What do you guys think? Raise your hand. I'm looking at the gallery view right now. Raise your hand if you think it would be beneficial to give all of the parents a name tag with their first name. Yes or no? There we go. Absolutely. 100%. So now we get to use everybody's first names just like we do at our event. In the welcome, I want you to welcome the parents. I want you to welcome the kiddos. I want you to make everybody feel excited to be there. Get them pumped up. You know, if you work with kids and you know that level of enthusiasm that's required to reflect that mirror energy back to get everybody pumped up, have them do it. Look at what we do from our stage, right? We have music playing. We have people high-fiving each other, fist bumping each other. Some of y'all may even be giving each other hugs. Don't do that in your school. Just high fives and fist bumps. Okay, here's the thing. After you give a powerful welcome, you want to give a preliminary offer. So everybody write down step 3 is a preliminary offer. Okay, so what does this look like? If I'm up there teaching, right, and I'm just going to kind of plant the seed for what's to come. I'm going to say, all right, parents, and by the way, we're going to have so much fun today. This is going to be exciting. Boys and girls, if you're ready to have fun, say yes, sir. And they all go, yes, sir. All right. And by the way, for everybody who's here today, we have a special offer that's good for today only. Everybody say today only.
Today only.
Where you will have the chance to save your child's spot for 30 days free.
What?
Boys and girls, raise your hand if you want to come here for 30 days and train with us. And they're all going crazy. So it's a today only offer. You could even say, and it's only going to be good for the first 20 families. Now what's going to happen is everybody in that room is looking around and they're like, whoa, I'm counting that there's 30 families here.
They're doing like an overview, like a quick head count going,
Yep.
wait.
And you want to know what? If you do a limiter of 20 families and there are 30 families there, the other 10 don't get a start. They just don't. You can collect their lead information. They can start next month. You have to be able to have integrity with your offers. Just tossing that out there. You never want to be that used car salesman that's like, oh, there's only 5 spots left, and then there's like 50 spots left. Like, don't do that. But here's the thing. When you plant the seed early on, you are pre-framing them for what's to come later. And you're also establishing the word context. Everybody look at the person next to you and whisper, context. You're providing context for them to see your class in a different way. Now they're watching and absorbing all of the magic through the context of, hey, maybe I should sign up my kid at the end of this session. Instead of them just being there and being guests and looking around, now they're paying closer attention because now they're starting to say, does little Johnny and little Sarah actually like being here? Are they having fun at this event? And they will, because you have an awesome instructor who's leading the event. Okay, so after we do that, we have to understand that the energy of the class is so vitally important. Number 4 is teach the class. Again, this could be a birthday party. This could be a parents' night out. This could be a self-defense a seminar. This could be a bring a buddy giant extravaganza day. Now we're teaching the class. It's got to be high energy. It's got to be fun. And Lauren, let's talk about acknowledgments to the kids.
Yes, absolutely. So, right at the beginning, right out of the gate, we said they need to have name tags, right? So it is vitally important, and this is that next step, is you want to acknowledge each student at least 2 times during that class. So whether it is...
Yeah, write that down. This is like listen,
don't miss that step.
We are not giving you theory, okay? We're giving you practical applications that have been tested. When you give the kid an acknowledgement twice, magic happens.
Yes.
All right, keep going.
Absolutely. So, whether it is they've demonstrated something correctly in class, or you want to acknowledge them for the way that they're sitting, but you actually say that child's name out loud, right? There's an opportunity to go around and say a child's name. You can even say a few in a row. Oh man, I really love the way that Max is sitting. Great job. Oh, great job, Jessica. You're doing awesome too. Right there. That was 2 kids that got acknowledged, right? And you can go, you don't have to go down the line. Don't make it weird, but you definitely can be sporadic with it. But being intentional about saying each child's name out loud 2 times by giving them that acknowledgement, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Carson. Carson is awesome.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I talk about Carson to Duane, I mean, she's a daddy's girl all day long, right? So he's going to be like, I know. Just saying the name out loud, right? If you say any one of my kids' names out loud, I'm going to be the same way, right? I'm like, that one's mine.
Oh, for sure. So the psychology behind that, right, is that the parent hears the child's name in a positive context.
Yes.
More than once.
Yes.
The first time, they're like, did he just say my kid's name? Oh, that's awesome. The second time, now they're vibing with you. They're like, this is legit. This is legit, right? And when we say that you can acknowledge their names quickly, I'm not even joking. You could literally be having the kids doing jumping jacks, and as you're walking down the line, you're like, all right, Super Chris, great job. Lauren, great job. Sydney Best, great job. Sydney Faith in the back over there, good job. Jolene, you're crushing it. I just named 5 people in 10 seconds. And
so not only is this impactful for the parent who's sitting in the audience, but obviously you're boosting up that kid too. That kid feels great.
Yeah. Now,
right?
for those of you who are super smart, you're also thinking, oh my gosh, this stuff works when we teach regular classes too.
Correct.
Think about that. Acknowledging kids twice per class, every single class. We were in jiu-jitsu the other day, last week, and Carson got acknowledged. Leo got acknowledged. Professor walks up, fist bumps them both. They were really grinding hard. They were working out. They were applying themselves. They both got acknowledged. Not only did we feel good as parents, but as soon as we got into our Jeep, Carson and Leo are like, did you see Professor?
He said I did a good job.
Boom. You know what that equals? Retention. So we're just tossing that out there. So you have to acknowledge the kids 2 times. Now, here's the other thing. Part number 5.
Yes.
You want to be selective and give kids the opportunity to do individual demonstration. Let me explain what this is. And by the way, I just thought of another use case example. When you go into an elementary school, like on career day, and you're doing a demo, whether it's dance, martial arts, any sport, all of the psychology that we're teaching you right now is exactly what we did in elementary schools when we would give demos. If you're in our satellite success course, which by the way, we're accepting new enrollments, by the way, you need to do it. It's $2,000 and you can make an extra $100,000 a year. So if you're interested, we're talking working like 2 or 3 hours a week. So the psychology of this works because you can go into this large group format and not know any of these kids, but then all of a sudden, all of them want to join your program. They're getting acknowledged. They're feeling good about it. So when you bring up a couple kids for part 5, individual demos, you have to be selective on who you choose, okay? There's 4 examples. 2 boys, 2 girls. You have an older girl and a younger girl, an older boy and a younger boy. Those are the 4 kids you should be looking for to come up individually to demonstrate something. Okay, what are some things they can demonstrate, Lauren, that gives them like 15 seconds of fame?
Yeah. So in like pretty much in any type of these sports that we're teaching, a kick in some capacity is something that they're going to do, whether it's a dance demo like a grand battement, they're coming up to the front. If they're doing a front kick in martial arts, if they are kicking a soccer ball, like either way, there's a kick that is involved that is a very quick and simple demo that they can do by bringing them up to the front that they can show in front of the whole class.
Super simple. Another martial arts example could be you could have them come up and break a board. You could have them come up, like if you were an instructor, right, and you've got a blocker, you know, like with the handle that you can bop the kids with and they do high blocks. High block, low block, duck, jump. All right, everybody clap for little Johnny. He crushed it. And then call up the next kid. When you show the audience that a older kid can do it, a younger kid can do it, boys and girls, what do the children subconsciously start saying to themselves? Repeat it with me. Ready? I can do it too. You guys following me on this one? They all say, I can do it too. What we are doing is instilling a belief system. Write that in your notes. Instilling a belief system that I can do this too. You know what's amazing? We do this when we speak on stage.
Yep.
When we have brand new guests that are coming out to our events, like E3, that's going to be in January of 2025. That's going to be a huge one. We are instilling confidence and belief that this system is possible for so many people, not just because we say it is, because they can look around the room and see hundreds of other people using this system right now to make a lot of money and change a lot of lives. This is where the social proof comes in. This is why it's so important to have part 5 individual demos, older boy, older girl, younger girl, because now all of those kids, right? They go, I can do this too. All right, here we go. We're moving right along. Number 6. Number 6 is a little bit of an art. It's the class wrap up and the official offer. So write that down. Number 6, class wrap up and make the official offer. Okay, so this is where you have all the kids sit down. They're all in line. Everybody's looking sharp. And again, this is for any sport. This is for anything.
If I may say,
please.
This is that step that gets missed. Like, you guys are going to go, okay, cool. I can do the name tags. I can give the acknowledgments. I can have the demo. I can pick the 4 kids. I can do all the things. This is that step where it's kind of like when we're talking about training your team to go for the enrollment over the phone, that they're like, let me just send you a link instead, right? And they like miss this step, and it's because there's a lack of practice in there. Like Duane just said, there is an art to this, okay? So really pay attention to what Duane is about to say, because this is the step that is the home run hitter, okay? So go ahead.
All right, here we go. So I'm standing in front of the class, and I'm looking at everybody. You know, it's a pumped up group. Everybody's excited, right? And again, this could be for anything. It could be a demo. It could be a self-defense seminar. It could be anything where you have a bunch of new people in the room, okay? This could be a regular class. This could be the art, like we're teaching you how to promote. You could be promoting summer camp and after school to your evening students doing the psychology that we're teaching you right now. So when we do the class wrap up and we make the offer, you're linking the fact that they just crushed it with the fact that they're going to continue to crush it in the class when they sign up today only for the first 20 people. So here's how we do this. I would say, all right, boys and girls, did you have fun today? Everybody raise your hand. Say, yes, sir. They're doing it. All right, boys and girls, if you had fun today, turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and tell them you're awesome. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Boys and girls, if you had so much fun today, I want you to turn and look at mom and dad and not just give them 1 thumbs up, give them 2 thumbs up and shake your head if you want to sign up. Now, all of the kids are turning to their moms and dads. And then I'm going to say, moms and dads, clap for your kids because they did an awesome job today. And all the parents start clapping. You just closed the room. You just closed the room doing that, my friends. Here's why. When parents publicly acknowledge how well their kid did, and then all of a sudden you go, all right, because, use the word because you guys did so well today, we're going to give you a special opportunity to continue training with us. It's good for the first 20 families that join. And right now you're going to look at everyone in the whole room. They're all going like this. They're doing head counts all of a sudden.
They're very interested with how many people are sitting in the room all of a sudden.
You got moms and dads ready to punch. They're like, all right, we're getting this.
It's like Furby in the 90s, right?
First 20 people, first 20 families that come up. Did you say Furbies?
Furbies.
Oh my gosh, you're bringing it back.
Yeah.
First 20 families that jump on this opportunity, not only are you getting 30 days free in our martial arts class, dance class, cheerleading class, sports and fitness train, whatever, but you're also, I'll use a martial arts example, you're also going to be able to get a white belt before you leave today. Boys and girls, how many of you want to get a white belt before you leave today? Raise your hand and say, yes, sir. And they all do it. It's at this time, I'm going to tell you what you're not going to do. You're not passing out flyers right now. They don't need a flyer. The flyer is to educate them about your program. They don't need a flyer because they saw your program. They were educated right now about your program. So what do you have to pass out to them? I'm gonna open this up to chat right now. What do you pass out to these people that are in that audience right now for this event, this demo? Manny Cabrera nailed it. My man. Manny says sign-up forms. That's exactly it. What sign-up forms do we pass out? Well, we've got the 30-day free template for evening programs in your course. If you're a member, you have access to that. Just modify it and hit print. And then have them already ready to rock. Now, if you really want to hit a home run, you're not just passing out the sign-up forms. What else are you passing out with the sign-up forms? I'm going to quiz you guys. How can we make this so easy for people to literally sign up? What do you need to give them? You can't just hand them a piece of paper. What else do you need to give them? I'm quizzing you guys. Let's get the brain working. Amy Williams said pens. Yep. What else? What else? What else? What else? There's one key ingredient, one item. We've got paper. We've got pens. We have... You guys are missing it. Amy nailed it. Clipboard. Stephanie Larson got it. Clipboard. You better have these pieces of paper already on a clipboard with a pen ready to rock. And if you want to hit a home run, you better get a cool color clipboard. Cool color clipboard. What color should we get?
Blue.
Blue?
Mm-hmm.
Blue. Lime green.
Lime green.
A bright purple.
Ours are bright purple.
The ones we use for STC are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ours are bright purple.
And if you really want to hit a home run, you have them customized. Duane and Lauren, how do you customize a clipboard?
Oh my goodness, it's so easy. I'm so glad you asked. So, firstly, just go onto Amazon and you can purchase in bulk these bright, vibrant colored clipboards, and then you just get a sticker.
Boom.
But you can literally, so go on to like Sticker Mule is where I like to go, right? Super easy, and they are.
Can you say that website one more time?
Sticker Mule. So, and you'll want to get it so that it is not just like a die cut out, but it's actually like a vinyl decal that gets stuck on there. They're so inexpensive. Like when I say inexpensive, like less than $1 per thing.
Yeah.
And you just start sticking them everywhere.
And here's the thing. I want you guys to write down kind of in the sidebar of your notes. Like if you have your notes right here, write it into the side. Write the word intention.
Mm-hmm.
When you can show your families that you are being intentional about every little detail, that takes your brand and elevates it to a professional level instead of it hovering down at the bottom like a mom and pop.
Yep.
When the clipboards are custom, when the pens are custom, when the tablecloth is custom, when they walk into your school and it smells good, when they walk into your school and the music's playing, when they walk into your school and every single team member is in uniform with a lanyard and a badge, so that their names can be seen as well. Everything is intentional. They will sign up. Vince had a good question. He said, does the content of the class that you teach matter? Is there certain things that make kids really want to sign up? I can give you a martial arts example, and I can also say the content really doesn't matter. It has to be short and simple. Mm-hmm. You're not teaching forms or katas. In the dance world, you're not teaching elaborate multiple 8 counts. Okay, you can do some center work. You can do some across the floor drills and work, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe a couple 8 counts, but we're not sitting there memorizing 8 counts. We're not sitting there memorizing katas or forms or hyung, right? We're not doing that. We're doing punches and kicks and blocks and jumps and physical movements that kids love and laugh about, right? That's what we teach. It's just got to be fun and energetic. Great question. Great question. So then here's the home run, right? So you're there, you make the offer, you're looking at the parents, everybody's pumped up. You're like, all right, you have to tell them what to do next. Write that in your sidebar. You have to give people instructions of what to do. If you hand them a clipboard with an enrollment form and a pen, you'll have about 20% of the people that just naturally do what they're told. They're going to be like, all right, I'm signing up my kid. He loved it. I had fun today. This was cool. I'm signing up. But then you're going to have about 80% that are still sitting there like, what do we do? You have to tell them. Go ahead and grab the pen, fill it out, turn your enrollment form into the front desk right here with Mr. Super Chris. And then Mr. Super Chris is over there waving his hand so that everybody knows who he is. And then they go and they do it. We have one of our guests today. His name is Chris. He's getting ready to do a grand opening out in California. What's up, buddy? He said, I'm going to use this in my grand opening.
Perfect.
Heck yes. Absolutely, sir. 100%. This will be amazing. So you point out the person that they have to deliver it to. And then, I got to give credit where it's due. So back in the day, I had a conversation with Mike Metzger from Maya. And one of the things that he was talking about was how they, would incorporate pizza into their in-house events. And the pizza was designed so that people would stay longer to eat the pizza. And I was like, oh, that's genius. So I'll give credit. That wasn't my idea. That was his idea. And if you order pizza or if you have refreshments in the back and you let all the parents know, all right, boys and girls, while mom and dad are signing you up for this program, go ahead and go to the back and grab your pizza. And then Coach John or whoever just led the class, he's back there hanging out, serving up pizza. You have a captive audience for another 15 or 20 minutes, maybe another 30 minutes, and you're going to sign up the entire room, right? So we just wanted to share that with you because live events and demos are some of the fastest and easiest ways to get people to say yes. You don't have to rely on Facebook marketing. You don't have to rely on Google. Like, those are great lines to put in the water to fish with. But so many people in our industry get so sidetracked with just those 2 marketing strategies that they forget that there's like 58 other marketing strategies that work. And if 58 other marketing strategies work and you get 2 kids from each one, you have over 100 kids and you're sold out. Congratulations. You did it in under 6 months. Now you're doing $500,000 to $800,000 of revenue with summer camp and after school. Year after year after year after year, and then open up another location, do it again. Now you're on the 7-figure level, and retirement actually becomes a real thing for you guys.
What?
Think about that.
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing.
So I know that we're kind of jumping around, but I want to see you guys win, and I want to see you be able to have the freedom that owning a business allows you to have. If you go back to, there's a great book that I got my hands on early on into the entrepreneurial game. Has anybody ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Type yes into the chat section. Have you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I'm going to quiz you. What was the second book in the series? Because Rich Dad, Poor Dad's good, but I'm talking about book number 2. Who remembers book number 2? This is the one that changed my whole life. I went from like making like $5,000 a month to like 20 and 30,000 a month right after I read that book. Yeah, who said that? Kia Loggins. What's up, Kia? Kia said cash flow quadrant. Manny said cash flow quadrant. Write that in your notes. Cash flow quadrant. It's an old school book. It still holds true today. I still have that book. You know what's funny? When I look at like the top couple books that I keep, no matter what, like I'll always keep them. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, E-Myth, Cash Flow Quadrant, and Think and Grow Rich. Those are my top 4.
And the Bible.
And the Bible. Well, that's always there. So top 5, right? And here's the thing that I'm going to say. You don't have to have the flashy objects to make the most money. Mm-hmm. Going back to the basics, going back to the roots of how business works and how psychology works allows you to sign up kids. You know, I look at some of these other organizations out there, some of these other coaching groups, a lot of the groups that are trying to sell automations and all these other flashy things. We had one admin in the morning, one admin in the afternoon, doing sales calls, making well over $1 million a year. And it can't get any more simple than that.